Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. I'm watching these markets, this economy, and I'm watching the same things you are. And the consumer is being consumed, ladies and gentlemen. When you watch the destruction of this economy, markets today absolutely crushed. Dow Jones down over 500 points, NASDAQ down over 500 points, Facebook down over 26%, lost another $85 today. The consumer is being consumed, no doubt about it. Oil today up over $90 a barrel. And I got to tell you, I'm really getting concerned here with where this is all going. Tomorrow, we're going to get the jobs report, and it's going to be horrific. And I don't know if the market's going to like that, if it's not going to like it. And in all honesty, these markets should have absolutely crashed today. They should have been even worse. We're still losing jobs. We got the jobless claims for last week. I think it came in around 238,000 today. And of course, they try to make that out like good news. And on top of that, we're going to get these horrific job numbers tomorrow, and they're going to blame it on something, right? It's always something. It's never the economy, because the economy is always recovering. The economy is always strong. The consumer is always strong, but the consumer is being consumed. Their wages are being eaten alive by inflation. Their savings being eaten alive by inflation. I was reading a comment today on an article on the hedge, and somebody made a comment down below, and I want to share it with you. And they said, this is what their advice was, just being facetious. They said, move all your assets into stocks like Facebook and Twitter. Listen religiously to Jim Cramer and buy the dip. Hedge against the transitory inflation we are experiencing. Cash out of gold, silver, and reinvest in something like a guaranteed high return, such as ARK Innovation. I thought that was pretty funny. Wanted to share it with you. But look, when I see the volatility and the danger ahead, there's no doubt I will continue to buy gold. I'm putting cash away even though it is getting eaten alive by inflation, but I need it to take advantage of the sales that will be coming in real estate and in these markets. So I think it's important to have some. And look, there's going to be a point in time where we may not want to be holding much cash at all, but as of right now, I think you got to have some. Article today coming from the hedge that I want to share with all of you, and I'm going to be kind of all over the place today, just talking a little bit about everything. But this article, Texas braces for cold snap as natural gas pipelines freeze, power blackout concerns mount. Another reminder of why we must continue to be preparing. This is a lifestyle now, at least for me, where I'm always thinking outside of the box. Do I have my security situated? Do I have enough water put away, enough food, enough training? Do I have enough candles, enough matches? Do I have an exit strategy? Do I have a plan? And we really got to be thinking outside the box here, because this doesn't have to be man-made. It doesn't have to be an economic collapse. Here we have Mother Nature, natural disaster, pipelines freeze, power blackout concerns mount in Texas. I just spoke with Aaron early, his channel, Texas Silver. I got off the phone with him about 15 minutes ago. They're talking parts of Texas tonight will be 3 degrees, 0, negative, okay? Below, we're below freezing right now. He says it's 26 degrees at his house. And, when it gets down to these temperatures or 0, or you get into negative temperatures and you don't have gas to heat your home, you could be in very, very big trouble. And so we saw what happened last year when they got that blizzard. I don't think it's as bad as that, but you don't need snow to make it bad. When you get to freezing temperatures and you don't have a way to heat your home, you're in very, very big trouble. So he's going to be putting out a video this evening on his channel, Texas Silver. I highly advise you go over, check out his channel. It's a great channel. He talks about just, preparations, being prepared, living off the grid, keeping your house warm. So check out Texas Silver this evening. Should be a good show tonight. Give them a sub. CNN America's economic recovery is about to go into reverse. This coming from CNN. When I read this article, we already went over this yesterday, but private payrolls showed an unexpected 301,000 job losses last month. But this I found really interesting. Hours worked declined by 5.1% in January. I thought that was interesting. And this too, more than half the jobs lost in January were in leisure and hospitality. And if you live in a city like I do, where a majority of the jobs are in leisure and hospitality, this is damaging. This is doing a lot of harm to cities like mine here in the Palm Springs area, where so many people depend on leisure and hospitality type jobs, golf courses, resorts, hotels, restaurants, bars, things of that nature. And I was in downtown Palm Springs today, and of course, homeless people everywhere. There's so many people living under Palm Springs now. They're living in the storm drains, under the roads. And I talked to a friend of mine at the gym a couple days ago, and he said he was out with some friends last week having dinner in downtown Palm Springs, and he left the restaurant, and he said he couldn't believe the amount of people, homeless people, wandering around. He did not feel safe. Again, it's just another reflection of this economy, because in a real booming economy, in an economy where debt isn't flooding cities and municipalities, we wouldn't be seeing these kind of problems. The problem is so many cities and municipalities are broke. This government is broke. We don't have the resources or the money to take care of these people, because we're spending it all over the world instead of right here. And how much, it's so sad, and it really infuriates me with how much money, especially as a taxpayer, how much money we pay in taxes, and we're not getting anything back. My roads are crumbling. There's trash all over the freeway, homeless wandering. I have to be so careful driving through Palm Springs, because homeless people will just jump out in front of your car because they're completely walking around like zombies, on drugs, what have you, and they'll just walk out in front of your car. And that's why so many of them get run over. But this does not look like a booming recovery, does not look like a booming economy. It doesn't even look like a first world nation at this point. I really have to tell myself that I'm not in a third world country yet, but I think I am, because when I go to certain cities and see this, I don't feel like I'm in a first world country. I feel like I'm in a third world country. So where is the money going? Where's all your tax money going? It's certainly not, going and fixing roads. It's not fixing the homeless crisis. It's not producing jobs. It's not producing factories. Where is the money going? U.S. oil prices topped $90 a barrel for the first time since 2014. Welcome to the new world, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to cost more money to put gas in your new car. December U.S. factory orders tumble most since April of 2020. That on the hedge today. U.S. service sector slumps to 18-month lows. Firms passing higher costs on to consumers. Of course, you're going to pay more for goods and services, period. You're going to pay more for gas. You're going to pay more for rent. Your standard of living, the price is going to continue to go up. And if you're middle class, you're going to have to spend more to stay in the middle class. And again, you're going to spend more to put gas in that car. America's $30 trillion debt in one stunning visualization. This was on the hedge last night. I highly advise that you check this out, because they actually show you pictures of what, millions and billions and trillions of dollars looks like, right? And when we get to $30 trillion, the picture literally looked like a city with a multitude of high rises stacked in dollar bills, right? Stacked in dollar bills all the way to the clouds. Literally a city 5 times the size of New York. That's what $30 trillion looks like on paper in dollar bills. It's really shocking. So check that out. But I mean, and I'm not exaggerating. $30 trillion is literally a metropolis of sky rises when you stacked by dollar bills all the way to the clouds. It was incredible. The dollar is monopoly money, Mr. Peter Schiff, also on the hedge. And I want to share this article, and I took some notes on it, and I'll break it down for you. $30 trillion now in federal debt. He says, you also have to add state and local government debt, which totals about 3.2 additional trillion dollars. That brings the total debt to GDP ratio in the U.S. to 142%. And, you know, there were people that wrote to me the other day because I criticized, you know, people watching football and ignoring reality. And, you know, these same people have absolutely no idea what's going on. And look, I don't judge anybody if they want to watch a football game. I just remember very, very well what the NFL stands for, what they stood for, how they slapped all their fans across the face, how they take advantage of their fans, and what they really thought of their fans, and what they thought of other groups, and what they thought of the police, military, and all that. And you know, a lot of people can forgive them and forget and move on. I can't. I will never, ever forgive the NFL for the garbage that they are. And for people who want to watch it and support it with their time and their money, God bless you. You can do whatever you want with your time and money. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but if you want to call me out and criticize me for calling out the NFL, you know, I think, you know, I honestly, I'm not going to use the word of what I think you are, but your country is melting down. Your economy is melting down. The future of your financial well-being is melting down. The future of your kids, your grandkids, all this debt is being put right on the backs of your kids. They are going to be debt slaves if they're not already. But you go ahead and, you know, you can spend, you know, $5,000, $75,000, $50,000 on a Super Bowl ticket. Or you can spend 5 seconds of wasting your time on this garbage and just polluting your mind. That's on you. I will never forgive or forget. And I'm not a big football fan, never have been, but I will never, ever be a fan of any institution or corporation that said the things that they did and took a line in the sand like they did on their beliefs. And I totally do not believe in what they believe in. I think they're just an absolutely pathetic organization. And again, just going back to what they think of police, the military, their fans, and what they called you, how anybody would even give them 5 seconds of their time, I don't know. But while people are watching this garbage, they have no idea what's happening to their Social Security, their pensions, their standard of living, their paychecks, inflation eating them alive. And but JB, just give us 2 hours to just take a break from all of it. Well, that's fine. I think you got to have balance in your life. But gosh, isn't there a better place to spend 2 or 3 hours of your time than that organization? It's horrible. How about unfunded liabilities, Social Security and Medicare, that adds up to another $160 trillion. So when you take this federal government debt and you take on unfunded liabilities like Medicare and Social Security, you're looking at around $200 trillion. $200 trillion. Going on, we will keep doubling the money supply. And ladies and gentlemen, the more we continue to increase the money supply, the more inflation we're going to get. You double the money supply, you're going to be just doubling the price of goods and services. And this is what's been going on. It's continuing, and we are reaching a breaking point. People don't realize this is a great, big, giant Ponzi scheme. When they realize they're going to get paid back in monopoly money, they're not going to lend. They won't want to even hold treasuries, and the only buyer is going to be the Fed, Mr. Peter Schiff says. That's when the printing press overheats and blows up. And that's where we're heading. And that's the question. When does this whole thing blow up? Because those printing presses have been running 24 hours a day for over a decade. More than $320 million stolen in latest apparent crypto hack. Wormhole, one of the most popular bridges linking the Ethereum and Solana blockchains lost about $320 million in an apparent hack on Wednesday. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. The video yesterday, just when I was discussing this gentleman where they lost his $33,000 cashier's check, and when he called, the bank was closed. And when he got a hold of another branch at Bank of America, they just said there's nothing they could do about it. You know, good luck. And so, you know, this is where we're at, that in the worst possible time, when you need your money, you need to make sure you can get to it, and you need to make sure that your money has value. Do you have real money, like gold, like silver? If cash, dollar down again today, if the dollar bill comes to a point where it collapses, what would we all do? You must have assets. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen tomorrow, but you're watching the dollar collapse literally every day. It's buying less and less. And I do hold dollars, and I think you have to have some amount of dollars right now, because when these markets crash, you're going to need dollars to get back in. So you may be paying a price right now with inflation holding those dollars, but when these markets go down 60, 70, 80%, maybe even more, you're going to need some dollars to jump in and buy them. And I think that you'll be happy that you do have some. But I sleep a lot better at night knowing that I have gold, I have silver, and that I have all my debts paid off. But again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it, and you want to be able to access your cash, your gold, your silver, you know, any asset you have, you need to be able to access it. And if you're holding it all in a safe deposit box at a bank or a private vault, there's counterparty risk, so you need to be aware of that. I trust myself. I don't trust many others. And we all saw what happened in 2008 when there was an electronic run on the banks, when people couldn't access their 401ks and money markets, when people needed money the most, when they wanted to get out, they could not get out. And so be very cautious, because you may not be able to get out of where you're at and where your money is at when you want to. And so it's something to think about, but I'm going to leave it there today. Make sure to check out Aaron Early's channel, Texas Silver. He should be releasing a video this evening, and he'll catch us up to date on what's happening with the weather out there and why all of you should be prepared for an economic collapse, a cyber attack, grid down, a dollar collapse. I mean, we really should be thinking outside of the box right now and prepared for anything. I don't know about you, but 2022, the volatility that we are seeing in these markets is telling you and me, especially, I'll tell you, watch this today. Dow Jones down over 500, NASDAQ down over 500, and I think we're going to get some bad news tomorrow. This is getting really concerning. And how much longer can they keep printing? How much longer can they keep buying it all? They are wrecking the economy doing this. We are literally sacrificing the U.S. economy for the stock market right now. People are literally losing it all right now. And these people out there that just think that this is normal, that everybody's doing okay because the stock market was up, but look at the volatility this year. It's crazy. And look, the market could go up 5,000 points tomorrow. It does not change my life whatsoever. I know it's rigged. I know it's a Ponzi scheme, and I know it's going to fail and it's going to collapse, and you do too. So we've got to get back to simplicity. We've got to get back to real money. We've got to get back to getting out of the system and relying on ourselves and our network of people. Stay close to God. Look, nobody's perfect, ladies and gentlemen. I've never claimed to be an angel or perfect, but I'm doing my best to be a better person, a better human. And I'm definitely walking closer to God. We are in a spiritual war right now. There is a lot of evil out there. And there's going to be a lot of pain and suffering coming, because when people go broke and they lose their cars and their homes, there's going to be a lot of agony out there. There's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. And we've got to be spiritually ready for that. But there's a reason why God is waking you up. There's a reason why God is waking me up. I haven't seen the full picture yet. I take it day by day. It's all you can do. But we're going to see things that we're never going to forget things that we never thought possible here in this country. We're going to see pain. And that's something that America has not seen in a very, very long time. If you know anybody that has ever, that lived through the Great Depression, they'll tell you the stories. It was not a fun time, and it literally took 2 decades to get out of. So I'm going to leave it there. God bless. And I look very, very forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. Share this video, give it a like, and make sure you subscribe.